North Korea is one of the few places on Earth where almost every image, every headline, and every official statement is carefully controlled. But beyond the military parades and choreographed spectacles lies a country that few outsiders ever get to witness firsthand. And if you're fascinated by the hidden realities behind one of the world's most secretive nations, make sure you subscribe to Uncovering North Korea for more documentaries that explore what few people ever get to see. For decades, North Korea has cultivated an image of strength, unity, and unwavering loyalty to its ruling Kim dynasty. Yet almost everything the outside world learns about the country passes through layers of government control. Foreign visitors are rare, journalists even rarer, and independent reporting is virtually impossible. Every itinerary is approved in advance, every location is selected, every conversation is monitored. That makes any glimpse inside the country both fascinating and deeply complicated. The journey begins long before crossing the border. Flights into Pyongyang are limited, and for many visitors, the final stop before entering North Korea is Beijing. From there, the atmosphere changes almost immediately. As the aircraft heads toward one of the world's most isolated capitals, passengers understand they are about to enter a place where ordinary rules no longer apply. The moment they arrive, the first reminder comes quickly. Phones, laptops, cameras, books, anything capable of storing information is subject to inspection. Officials examine electronic devices, review personal belongings, and remove material considered unacceptable. It is an introduction to a country where controlling information is considered just as important as controlling borders. But that's only the beginning. Foreign guests are never left alone. Instead, they are assigned government escorts, often referred to as minders. Officially, they are there to assist visitors. In reality, they decide where visitors go, what they see, who they meet, and even what they are allowed to film. Leaving the hotel without permission isn't an option. Unplanned conversations with local residents simply don't happen. Every day unfolds according to a schedule prepared long before the visitors even landed. It soon becomes clear that the real story isn't only what is shown, but what remains carefully hidden. As morning breaks over Pyongyang, the capital appears surprisingly orderly. Wide boulevards, enormous monuments, and apartment blocks dominate the skyline. Around 3 million people live here, but residency is far from automatic. Living in Pyongyang is widely regarded as a privilege, often reserved for citizens considered loyal to the state. In many ways, the city functions as a showcase. Visitors are guided past spotless streets, impressive public buildings, and carefully maintained parks. Loudspeakers broadcast patriotic music, while organized groups encourage workers beginning their day. To an outsider, everything appears disciplined and remarkably coordinated, yet spontaneity is almost impossible to find. One of the first surprises is how difficult it is to simply speak with ordinary people. Casual conversations are discouraged, random interviews are forbidden. Even approaching someone on the street requires official approval. The result is a city that feels strangely quiet, not because people aren't there, but because almost every interaction has invisible boundaries. There's another detail that quickly stands out. Portraits and monuments dedicated to the Kim family dominate public spaces. Images of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Jong-un appear throughout the capital, reinforcing a personality cult that has shaped North Korean society for generations. These aren't simply historical figures presented in museums. Their presence is woven into everyday life. Schools, workplaces, sporting venues, and public squares all reinforce the same message. Loyalty to the leadership is inseparable from loyalty to the nation itself. That message becomes especially clear in places many people would least expect. Sports, for example, are presented not simply as recreation, but as a patriotic duty. Athletes describe success not as personal achievement, but as a contribution to the country and its leadership. International victories are celebrated as proof of national strength rather than individual excellence. Even simple interviews often circle back to themes of defending the country or serving the nation. To outside observers, it can feel rehearsed. Whether every statement genuinely reflects personal belief is impossible to know. In a society where criticism carries enormous risks, distinguishing sincere conviction from public obligation is extraordinarily difficult. And that's one of the greatest challenges when trying to understand North Korea. Everything visitors experience has been carefully selected. Everything they don't experience may be just as important. Perhaps nowhere is this more visible than underground. Pyongyang's metro system is among the deepest in the world. Officially, its depth serves practical purposes, including protection during conflict. But the stations reveal another side of daily life. Revolutionary artwork, patriotic slogans, and political messaging surround commuters throughout their journey. Access to outside information is even more restricted. North Korea does not offer unrestricted internet access to its citizens. Instead, most people who have digital access use a tightly controlled domestic network containing government-approved information. Foreign visitors can sometimes obtain limited communications access under strict conditions, but those privileges do not reflect everyday life for most North Koreans. Information itself becomes another border. As the days continue, one uncomfortable reality becomes impossible to ignore. Every carefully arranged visit raises another unanswered question. Every impressive building invites curiosity about what exists beyond the approved route. Every smiling interview leaves uncertainty over what could never be said in front of government officials. It isn't simply that outsiders are watching North Korea. North Korea is watching them too. If you want to uncover more stories hidden behind one of the world's most secretive regimes, subscribe to Uncovering North Korea, because we've only just crossed the border.